My name is Peter Schiff, and I'm the CEO of Euro-Pacific Capital. Among my many forecasts were that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, two government-sponsored enterprises at the heart of the housing bubble, would in fact go bankrupt. And I also forecast that Congress would make the mistake of bailing them out. Now, I bring this up now in the hopes that what I have to say, these warnings will not fall on deaf ears, although judging by how few congressmen have shown up, unfortunately, not too many are listening. In fact, this very hearing proves that Congress still doesn't understand the problem or its culpability in creating it.
I don't know whether to go to Mr. Schiff or not, but I guess I will.
Do you believe that the private funders would come into the market without FHA support?
Absolutely.
Give me an example.
Well, you got to get the government out to have a free market, but look at how capitalists are always looking to sell things to lower income people. You can make a lot of money. There's a lot more low income people than rich people, and you can make a lot of volume. One of the richest men in the country was Sam Walton. He made money selling things to low income people. If there's a demand for low income housing, and if Congress stays out of the way, profit-seeking private entrepreneurs will satisfy that demand. The problem is you've got all these private businesses looking to government, right? Because they don't want to deal with a competitive marketplace.
I would assume that you'd agree that there is a need for a secondary mortgage market in multifamily housing.
If there is a need for it, the free market will provide it.
How do you get there?
That's how markets function.
All right, well, I'm just asking how you get there.
Well, the government has to get out of the way, right? Because as long as the government's there distorting it, I mean, right, look, 90% of the mortgages now are now guaranteed by the government. I mean, there's nobody that's going to step in who can compete with the Treasury, because the Treasury's, got the taxpayer behind them. So there is no private market when the government comes in. It chases everybody else out. But you've got people here looking for the government to come in to provide a guarantee so that loans could be made that the free market would deny. If the free market wants to deny a loan, there's a reason for that.
If you agree that there is a need for FHA, would you kindly extend a hand into the air?
About the audience.
Excuse me, Mr. Schiff, if you don't mind, I'll conduct this voir dire, and I'll ask that you be kind, and we'll get to you in just a moment.
Your colleague there, Mr. Green, wanted to know who's in favor of HUD, and just about everybody here raised their hand because they directly benefit from HUD. Sure, a home builder can sell a home at an inflated price because of the FHA, but there's people on the other side of these transactions who are losing money. There are plenty of people who are not at this table who suffer because Congress decides to subsidize the industries that are represented here.
Without putting the taxpayers at risk.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, that's not
I yield back to balance my time.
Can I,
Madam Speaker?
There's tremendous cost here. Can I address this? There's tremendous cost to the taxpayer. That's why everybody's here. It's not because there's no benefit.
I'm going to resist my temptation.
Oh, don't do that on my account.
I was...
It's called moral hazard. It's unfortunate that politicians very often overlook the unintended consequences of their actions because what you do alters behavior.
Okay,
and
so...
it often make the very problem worse that you're trying to solve.
For you to think that we should allow people to go uninsured, not subsidize the insurance, and then the United States Congress is not going to help people who are uninsured and hit by a disaster, maybe that happens in an Ayn Rand novel, but it doesn't happen in the United States Congress.
We did try my view for a long time in this country. We became the wealthiest country the world had ever known because we had free market.
We tried your view until about the 19-teens. The country has done, you can say, rather poorly over the last few years, but we did pretty well in the latter 80% of the 20th century.
Don't take credit.
Now, excuse me, Mr. Schiff.
Please. The decorum here is not this yelling, and I like to rant sometimes, but I think we've had enough of it.
Remember, I represent the taxpayers here, and we're pretty upset at what's been going on.
Mr. Schiff?
Yes.
The time has expired. The gentleman
Unfortunately,
from Texas.
you're right.